Guess what? Humans are not very good at predicting the future. Whether it's Al Gore telling us that the North Polar ice caps could be completely ice-free in the next 5 to 7 years, which was a decade ago, or the scientists that predicted millions dead from the coronavirus. What we know is that predictive modeling is unreliable. According to Britannica.com, quote, predictive models hold significant value for society because of their potential role in warning systems such as in the case of earthquakes, tsunamis, epidemics, and similar large-scale disasters. However, because no single predictive model can account for all of the variables that may affect an outcome, scientists must make assumptions, which can compromise the reliability of a predictive model and lead to incorrect conclusions. Unquote. And of course, the less understanding of a system or variable they have, the further off their predictions will be. And for some reason, they always go way over. Check out these model predictions for how many hospital beds we would need due to COVID-19 versus reality. By April 1st, most shelter-in-place orders had already been given. And look how far off they were. The model predicted that we would need 5 times the amount of hospital beds than we actually did. Think about how far off that is. If I asked you to guess how much I weigh, you would have to say 900 pounds to be 5 times off. Think about this the next time a scientific model predicts how human activity will affect the warming of the Earth. The amount of variables that have to be assumed is enormous when you're talking about the climate. They are without a doubt predicting many times over what's going to happen. Now, why am I confident about that? Because they always err on the side of catastrophe. Just think about the predictions we've had over the years. The next ice age was coming and it was going to wipe out as many people as a nuclear war. Killer bees were going to swarm the United States, and before you knew it, people were going to be dropping like flies. And now the prediction is that the Earth is heating up to levels that will cause a global famine. But don't get that confused with the dire famine that was supposed to happen in the 1970s due to overpopulation, which never happened, of course. This coronavirus situation has brought to light how easy it is for fear to convince us to give up our inalienable rights. They have been predicting catastrophe for decades, but we were always able to keep sight of the Constitution. But it doesn't look like that's the case anymore. We seem to be at a turning point in this country. There might now be enough Americans who simply don't care about our God-given rights or the Constitution. We all agree that states have police powers they can use during an emergency, but they have to use that power reasonably. Is it reasonable to quarantine people who have an infectious disease? Sure. But what about forcing healthy people into isolation? That's not reasonable. Asking people to wear masks in public is reasonable. Arresting a guy paddleboarding alone in the ocean is unreasonable. And states shutting down their economies is unreasonable. And the federal government, who has our country in over $24 trillion of debt, passing trillion-dollar coronavirus legislation is unreasonable. As Barack Obama famously said, Democrats want to fundamentally transform the United States of America. And that would necessarily mean us having to give up some of our rights. They don't want you to peaceably assemble. They don't want you to freely practice your religion. They don't want you to decide how you're going to put food on the table. They're in charge, and they will tell you when, where, and how you can do those things. And the fact that so many people just accept it is scary. Listen, this pandemic isn't close to being over. We flattened the curve, but that isn't enough for Democrats. Since I started this video talking about predictions, let me give you one. The left are going to hold the economy hostage for months. They're going to reopen it and then shut it down again, then pass more legislation and spend more money we don't have. It'll be a cycle. Anytime this disease flares up, they're going to use it as an opportunity to pass more laws, spend more money, and blame Donald Trump for people dying. I mean, is there a better way to fundamentally transform the United States than to use a crisis to destroy the economy and spend us into oblivion? We all remember what Barack Obama's chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel, said. Quote, "You never let a serious crisis go to waste." And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things you think you could not do before. Unquote. Now let's take that to the next logical step. If a serious crisis is a great opportunity for politicians to do things they couldn't do before, then a serious crisis might be something those politicians want to happen. And I think that's where we're at right now. Democrats are too happy about this situation we're in. Nancy Pelosi recently went on the Late Late Show with James Corden to slam the president and then show off her ice cream collection.
From her home for a little Late Late Show and Tell. Speaker Pelosi, what have you found? What are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate.
Really?
Chocolate candy.
Oh, wow.
And this is something you can get through the mail.
Okay.
You never run out. Now show
me.
you?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the episode of Cribs I never knew I needed. Oh my, wow.
Other people in our family go for some other flavors, but chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here.
That's the top Democrat in our country, showing us just how tone deaf she really is. While us regular people are struggling to keep food on the table, she's bragging about her fully stocked ice cream freezer. And just in case you were wondering, Jenny's ice cream costs $12 a pint. Maybe that's why the Speaker of the House doesn't seem to be in a hurry to get the economy up and running again. What do you think? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to become a supporting member of Blue Collar Logic, click on the link in the description and give what you can.